Assalamu alaikum. Today's session we're gonna talk about something is called the present perfect. In that session we're gonna know how to deal with that tense. First of all, if you talk about that tense, you have to mention 5 points accurately. Form, keywords, negative, interrogative, and uses. Let's start with the form. Once you hear the word perfect, you have to put the PP. What is the PP? As we know, the PP is the third form of the verb, or the third shape of the verb. For example, eat, ate, eaten. So I'm gonna take the third one. Play, played, played. I'm gonna take the third one. Speak, spoke, spoken, and so on. But in that tense, we have to put have or has plus PP. So once you hear the word perfect, you have to put the PP. So if I ask you to tell me about the form of the future perfect, or past perfect, or present perfect, once you hear the word perfect, you are gonna put the PP, the past participle, the third form of the verb. Okay, so have or has plus PP. You know the difference between have or has? Have takes I, we, you, they, and the plural noun. Has takes he, she, it, and singular noun. Now let's give you an example about the present perfect. I have eaten my breakfast lately. So lately is one of the key words that refer to the present perfect, and we are going to explain it now. So I have eaten, okay? Have plus PP. Okay, it's an easy question. So now let's move to the second point, which is the negative. You know, have or has plus not plus PP. We are going to add not, or we are going to say haven't or hasn't. So we can say I haven't eaten my breakfast lately. Okay? Okay. So now let's move to the key words. The key words, we have some words that refer to the present perfect. Like what? Just, already, ever, never, since, for, yet. And we have another words like lately, recently, and so far, up till now, over the years. But the most important thing that I have to mention to that tense, that any word in that tense, we have to know its meaning, its place, and its usage. Why, teacher? I'm gonna explain that. The first one, just. We use it when we are going to talk about something that happened few minutes or few seconds ago. For example, I have just eaten my breakfast. Have just eaten my breakfast. That means that I ate my breakfast few minutes or few seconds ago. Did you get it? Okay. So the second point that I'd like to inform you about it, that we use just between have or has plus PP. So I said I have just eaten. I cannot say I just have eaten. Why? Because we use just between have or has plus PP. Okay? The third point that we have to mention, that we use just in the affirmative sentence. And that means that we cannot use it in the negative sentence. I cannot say I haven't just. Okay? Why, teacher? Because we use it in the affirmative, and we cannot use it in the question. So pay your attention to that point, please. Now let's move to the second keyword, which is already. First of all, what is the difference between just and already in the meaning? We mentioned before that if you want to use the word just, that means that this action happened few seconds, few minutes ago. But if you want to use the word already, that means that that action happened not few minutes or few seconds ago. No, it took a long time, okay? This is the only difference between just and already in the meaning. So there is a big difference when I say I have just eaten my breakfast, I have already eaten my breakfast. The first one means that I ate my breakfast few minutes or few seconds ago. But the second one didn't mean that, okay? So pay your attention to that one. Now let's talk about how can we use already and its place, okay? First of all, we can use already in the affirmative sentence as well. And that means that we can use already, like just in the affirmative sentence, between have and has plus PP. For example, I can say, I have already watched the film. And I can say, I have just watched the film. That means that we can use just and already in the two sentences. But if you want to use one of them, you need another sentence that tell you about the period of the action. Okay, so if this action happened a few seconds or few minutes ago, we can use just. And if not, we are going to use already. So this is according to the sentence itself. Let's move to the second point, that we can use already in the question between have or has plus PP. For example, have they already watched the film? Or have they already written their homework? Here we use already between have or has plus PP in the question, and we cannot use just in that one, okay? Because we use just in the affirmative sentence as we mentioned before. The third point, that we can use already at the end of the affirmative sentence. We mentioned before that we can use it in the affirmative sentence, but between have or has plus PP, yes? Now we can use it at the end of the affirmative sentence. For example, Edward has gone to school already. So at the end of this sentence, we can use already because it's an affirmative sentence. Can we use it just here? No. Why? Because we use it in the affirmative sentence between have or has plus PP. Number 4, we can use already at the end of the question, but it's not an ordinary question. For example, have you finished your homework already? You are so fast. That means that I was surprised that you have finished. So if you are surprised from something and you ask about, you can use already at the end of that question. Okay, so that's all about the word already, its meaning and its possession or its places, and you have to pay attention to that one. Now let's move to the third word, which is ever. First of all, if you are going to talk about the word ever, we are going to use it in the question between have and has plus PP. One of you will ask me, teacher, how can we use it? And you mentioned before that we can use the word already in the question. Excellent, you are. We use the word ever in the question if we are going to ask about a personal experiences. For example, have you ever eaten sushi? In that question, I ask you about personal experiences. The second point, that we can use the word ever in the negative sentence. The word already and the word just, we use it in the affirmative sentence, and that one in the negative sentence. For example, I haven't ever played chess. Can I say I haven't just or I haven't already? No. Why? Because already and just in the affirmative sentence only, not the negative one. Okay? The last one, we can use the word ever in the superlative form. For example, Ali is the tallest person, or Ali is the tallest boy in the class I have ever seen. The tallest, the biggest, the most interesting, the most exciting. All of these forms is a superlative form, so we are gonna use the word ever only in that sentence between have or has plus PP. And that's all about that video, and in the next video I'm gonna explain the words never, for, since, yet, and I'm gonna also explain the usage of that tense. See you in the next video, and thank you for sharing how much care you are. Thank you. Goodbye.